Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here today. I am currently full term pregnancy wise, so this baby could come any day. So if I've been a little MIA on my channel, it's just because number one, I've been a little bit anxious and on edge. I feel like it's always that way at the very end of pregnancy for me. And number two, I feel kind of like a tub of goo right now. It's hard to motivate myself to film and then to like watch it back and edit. I'm not exactly motivated to do that right now, but I'm pushing past it because I do want to continue my series about how to start an eBay store. I have 2 previous videos and a playlist, eBay 101, that I will link here and at the end of this video. But number 3 today is going to be all about inventory. So we're going to talk about my inventory system. It's incredibly simple and easy to replicate. I feel like after years of doing this and trying many different methods that didn't work out for me, this is the simplest and easiest way to go about it. So I'm going to explain all of that to you guys today, and we will just jump right into it. So let me just briefly go over things I have tried in the past. I've tried hanging everything on racks, and while that is convenient for finding things, there was really no easy way for me to label everything. And what I ended up doing was just sorting through tons of hangers all the time to find the right item. So I kind of tried to sort by pants, shirts, and sweaters, and I would just go through racks all the time, and it was kind of a waste of my time. Not only that, but it does take up more space to do like a hanging method, at least for me. So then I moved on to bins, and what I used to do in my bins was I would individually polybag and label each item within the bin and try to have them sorted by number. So my bins currently are, for example, B01, and I would have B01, 01, and that would be like in the first slot in the bin, and I would have it packaged and labeled with tape on the poly bag. There are 2 problems with this. One is that the tape that I used to inventory with B0101 would get stuck to the bag and be really hard to peel off, and I didn't want that aesthetically for the customer, so that was really annoying. And number 2 is it was hard to keep track of them within the bin, and I ended up digging through the bin anyway to look for the right item. And then I often found myself second guessing if it was the correct item or not, or the correct size, or a lot of times as well, a buyer will message me about a measurement or something that they want looked at more in depth with the item, and then I would have to unbag it out of the poly bag to do that measurement or to take a glance at it again and then message the buyer back. And it was like, again, it was a waste of time, it was a waste of poly bags. And I was ripping open poly bags just to check that the item was accurate and the right size and the right measurement. So that got really old and I found that it just wasn't quite working for me. So now I have simplified it even more. All I have are bins that I just have back here. And again, I do get asked often, you know, where do I get my bins and racks? They are linked down below in my description. The link to the bins I use and the racks that I use. We absolutely love them. We've used them for years now. I'm going to summarize it here really quick, and then I will show you in depth in person how I do it. But as a quick summary, I take out a bin that I know needs to be listed, and when I'm photographing, I will photograph everything in that bin and then take a picture of the bin number at the end of all of the photographs of the items that I'm listing. So for example, again, let's say I have a bin, it's A13, and I know that everything inside of it needs to be photographed. I will photograph everything in that bin and then photograph the bin number at the end so that I know everything that I photographed for that bin belongs to that SKU. And then as I'm listing, I will put the bin number in the SKU as I'm going, and then it's all kept track of and it's really convenient. Let's say sometimes though that I don't have a fully empty bin that I'm working with and I'm just photographing. What I do then is I find a bin that is mostly empty or half empty or has room in it for the new inventory that I've just photographed. I will pull it out. As I'm listing, I can just use that bin number, photograph it at the end so that I know where everything goes that I've been photographing. Or if I haven't done that and I've already photographed and listed and I kind of have all of my newly listed items in a pile over here, I will then grab that bin, go back into eBay and search my listings, find the item that I've just listed, and put in the SKU after the fact. The downside is that does take a little bit more time, but not very much. So I do that often, but what I'm trying to get into now is just getting that picture of the bin number as I'm photographing so that I can go ahead and put the SKU in as I'm listing. It just makes my life a little bit easier. And I only put in the SKU number for the bin. I have found that it is just as fast to find the item within the bin and it's loose, so I don't wrap it, I don't pre-bag it in anything anymore. I just have it loose in there, folded up nicely. And I found that pulling things out of these bins is just as easy and just as fast as if I had labeled them individually and pre-packaged them. And now let me go take you and show you just a hands-on example. All right, so this is bin B13 and everything in here actually is not listed yet. I have been sorting and organizing my inventory. So I've actually taken photographs of all of these items in here and I have taken a picture at the end of the bin number. And then as I'm listing, and I'll show you an example, I will just put in the bin number and then put this back. I'll put in the bin number for everything that I'm listing in this box. We've got some Chacos, some Air Force Ones. And then what's nice about this is I can immediately take this bin and put it right back on my shelf and I don't end up with a big massive death pile over here. Now let's use the example of, let's say, you know, I have already gotten all my bins filled. Everything in this bin is actually already listed, but I've noticed that it has some room, it's kind of empty. So when I have some new items that I need to list, I will go ahead and photograph these items. And then my last photograph for that little round, after I'm done photographing these items, I will take a photograph of this bin number. And then once I'm done photographing, I can just immediately put them right into this bin. And then as I am listing that same day, I just make sure I put in the SKU A05 for those two items. And I am good to go. I'll put it back on the shelf right away. And then again, I'm avoiding this huge, massive mountain of unsorted inventory. So I actually have 4 or 5 bins back there that aren't listed yet, but I have them sorted and organized and photographed so I know where everything is and where it will be and what SKU each item should have. So again, for example, let's say I'm listing the Nike Air Force Ones, they're a 9.5. I will, as I'm listing, find that SKU and put in B13, and then I will know exactly where that is when I need to pull it if it sells. And another way this is pretty easy is if I need to do an inventory check, which I try to do pretty frequently. I hadn't done one in a while and I just recently did one. I can pull out bins one at a time and I can sort through them, look them up on eBay. I mean, again, it's kind of a tedious process, but it takes like a full day if you're willing to just kind of do the labor. I'll take that bin, I'll empty it out, and then one by one, I'll look things up on eBay, make sure that the bin number is correct, that the item is still listed, because we all know occasionally things just disappear off of eBay. It's really frustrating. Make sure it's listed, make sure it's in the right bin, and then put it back. And another way to just double check is to go into your listings and filter by SKU, and it will pull up the blank SKUs in your inventory, and you can just double check, wait, why are those blank? I need to go find those, you know, I need to make sure that everything has a label so I know where it is. For example, everything in this closet back here that I have listed, I put just closet, office closet in my SKU, and that way I know where it is. Everything else has a bin number either here in my office, in the garage, or in our basement closet, and that's also how I know where everything is. And it just makes life a lot easier. I do just want to say from experience, it is an absolute nightmare if you are not organized with your inventory. It causes so much stress. Imagine someone buys something that's over $100 and you can't find it. It is so stressful to look through all of your stuff, see if you can find it. And as I've talked about in previous videos, when you cancel an order on eBay, it will knock you out of top rated seller status so fast. So we don't want to do that. We don't want that stress. Shipping doesn't have to be a nightmare. It really is so much easier if you know where everything is. Very easy and quick to pull shipping and ship everything that day. You know, the only things that can hold you up with shipping are when you can't find something and you want to pull your hair out. So that is my very quick and simple inventory system. I really do think it's the easiest way to get everything organized. The benefit is too, you don't have to sort it by style, type, sweaters, shirts, pants, electronics, anything. You can just have everything in a bin, and as long as it's labeled correctly, it doesn't matter. I have backpacks in the same bins as some shoes and some shirts, clothes. Generally, I do try to keep shoes together just because I feel like shoes have a little bit more, especially like pre-owned shoes, have a little bit more wear on them. I don't want those mixing with clothes necessarily or staining them. But you certainly don't have to, especially if it's brand new. You can keep it in bins with other items, and it really just makes life extremely simple. I hope this helped. Again, this was part 3 in my series, eBay 101, how to start your store and to get it going successfully. I really hope it helped you. If it did, give this video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content all about how to run your business from home. No matter how busy you are, you really can have a successful little setup at home that makes you some pretty good money. Thanks again, you guys. I appreciate you. Take care, and I will catch you next time.